What do you get when you cross a know-it-all newspaper columnist with an awkward, unsophisticated everyman?
Yeah. Well, I'm just not sure about that right now.
Welcome to Couch and the Rube.
Welcome to Couch in the Rube, our Sunday night show. Like old times, Sunday night show presented by our friends at Muskox Quality Flannels. Look and feel your best with a Muskox flannel. I'm telling you, this time of year, there is no better time. Going to holiday parties, you're outside, you're indoors, you want to look good, you want to feel good, you want to be comfortable. There's nothing more comfortable, more durable, just more quality that you can put on your body and look better. It gets rid of man boobs, gets rid of an extra chin. You got 7, you're down to like 5, like me. Muskox Quality Flannels. Go to gomuskox.com, and Couch in the Rube listeners can get $15 off a flannel purchase with the promo code Peacock. Jason, how you doing, brother?
Peacock.
Go Lions, restore the roar. Iguna Yaba Gita Jared Goff.
Hey, man. What am I doing here? Is Jonathan Smith fired yet?
He is not.
Okay, so what are we doing here? I thought that was why we were doing the show on Sunday.
No, it's because I'm going to Florida to cover the basketball team tomorrow.
Oh, right.
Yes.
So you're there the whole week?
Yeah.
So you're spending Thanksgiving in Florida?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a good deal.
By yourself?
Well, my wife is taking the trip. She always looks at this trip. Last year was Maui. This year, Fort Myers. Where are we going?
Because she gets to work from wherever, right? She can
right, and I think she's actually taking some time off. But yeah, she tags along, and it's a good deal.
Oh, I thought we were here because it was going to be the announcement of Jonathan Smith being fired.
No.
After that great performance.
No, it's our only show of the week.
Oh, yeah, damn. Okay.
But I kind of liked it. We did a couple years where we were coming in every 3 nights a week, and it was just us in downtown Lansing. We had the whole place to ourselves.
We had no excuse to get rid of some of the Twitter questions or takes by saying Ebling was coming in or something.
There was no show after us.
Absolutely.
No parking meters to pay. Nothing.
Do a 5-hour show if we want to.
I loved it.
Yeah,
There was a lot of good stuff with that. But yeah, no, we wanted to get one in this week. We wanted to have a good show, and I just thought there were going to be a lot of people with takes on their minds that we should get to. And
let's go green. Oh, God.
I thought we'd have some ourselves. And I was worried about you during this Lions game, Jason.
You should have been. I was worried about myself. I was worried about having to come in and do this podcast after an interim coach and Jameis Winston come into Ford Field and run some trick fucking plays, and Derek Barnes loses his jock strap. I mean, come on. There are some plays, I have to say, that you should have to retire. Right, like if you get dunked on by a 5'8" guy or something, if you're Wembanyama, you just have to walk out of the stadium. Like, that's your career. I think Derek Barnes should have to retire after that game. I love Derek, I guess, because he's a Lion. But Jesus H, getting shook by Jameis Winston, who's like 40 years old. It was just an unbelievable game that took years off my life.
Jameis is one of those quarterbacks. I forgot he was starting. Like, you don't bet against that guy, but because a 1-game scenario, Jameis can just do 350 yards, 4 touchdowns. He might throw 6 interceptions. The next week he'll be awful.
What a bizarre team that they have going on. And then you have Russell Wilson in overtime coming out and flipping the coin. It's like, what is going on here? I mean, you just have to give Russ something to do. But anyway.
I'm at the Michigan State women's NCAA tournament soccer game today. They won in the Sweet 16, advanced to the Elite 8.
All right. I'm happy for Sparty Barb.
Yeah, wrote a column about that before I came in, But I'm there and I look at Twitter and there's Jason. I just see the text 80 MGs. I'm like, I better check the Lions score. What's going on?
It's a figure of speech.
Yeah. But it usually means something's gone wrong.
Yeah, it's more of a figure of speech of kind of say like where I'm going to have to be. I knew I would have to drive at some point later. 80 MGs, you can't drive on that. So, But anyway, definitely thank God for weed because that was flowing this afternoon watching that shit show.
Jeez.
That was
bad. All right.
Big night. Fuego, gracias, señor. Vamos, Lions.
Vámonos, a ver, 1, 2, 3.
Vamos, Lions.
A mí si me mandan los humanos les hago un cagadero caliente. Aquí no está pelada, yo ando y cuidado.
I got to say I'm calling a little bit. I know we're excited about that victory, Graham.
Are people? Are we? I don't know.
Well, you got to, you're supposed to be excited about a win, right? A win is a win. You're going to get that football bullshit talk. A win is a win, a gritty win, and it's not how we wanted to do things. But my God, that whole game did not give me confidence going forward. I don't care what you say about a win is a win and how great Jahmyr Gibbs was, but the holes on that, especially the way the defense played, right? Are we feeling confident? The double pass trick touchdown play. It just reminded me, and I hate the same old Lions shit. I really do. But this game today reminded me of some of the same old Lions shit.
Well,
and a lot of hold on one second. But a lot of people want Dan Campbell to call plays. But I had a lot of speculation going on. I was like, maybe there's too much on Dan's plate right now, and it appears that might be true. But also, this is somewhat of Brad Holmes' fault here. Are we really going to go with Brock Wright the rest of the way here? Are we going to try to? God bless Brock Wright. He can definitely get on that line and block with the best of them. But we miss Sam Laporta like nobody's business. And there was just, especially with the D and an interim coach and Jameis Winston coming in there, and you were down 10 late, and you had to come back. Thank God. That's what Jameis Winston does. It'll give you some excitement, but then at the end, he's going to let you down. But I got to say, Graham, looking at the schedule, and we play the Packers on Thanksgiving, but I just, how confident should we feel after a game like that?
Not at all.
Right.
Like, to me, that's not a team that's going to win a Super Bowl. Not with the rest of.
I hate this feeling.
It's just. And maybe that's if the Lions had already won a Super Bowl, people would be able to deal with the years like this, where it just doesn't come together. There's a few injuries.
Yes, of course we could.
But because it hasn't happened, and because they were 15-2 and it didn't happen, and they were up 17 in the NFC Championship game and it didn't happen, these sort of things is like, wait. The time you can't go backwards yet because you haven't done it yet. And you bring up the same old Lions. The difference is the same old Lions don't get that Jahmyr Gibbs run in overtime and win it.
Right.
But I do see the tenets of it. You go back to that Minnesota game, which had some of the same old Lions stuff in there. And it's not, I'm not saying it's in the DNA of this team or this era of Lions football, but when you see it, you recognize it because we went through so much of it and you don't like it. And you know what it means. When you see it, you know it means that's not a team that's going to win 3 straight playoff games and get to a Super Bowl the way they look right now. And when you have something like Sam Laporta out for the year, and again, if they hadn't played him till week 12, he wouldn't be out for the year. But for some reason,
we couldn't get to the quarterback today. And I know everybody's talking about the Giants' offensive line, but come on, the Giants are still a shit team. And I know that Hutch had the great sack at the end, and he had 6 quarterback pressures or whatever stats you want to give somebody to make you feel better. I thought he played a good game, but he needs some help on the defensive line, and I just feel a lot of this falls on Brad Holmes. I'm sorry. He's made some knock it out of the park draft picks, but some of this stuff where you just sit back and go, I don't see with this offensive line. I know next man up and all that shit, and I do enjoy some of that, but sometimes you have to just accept it and realize that you need some help here. Goddamn, Graham Glasgow is terrible. Come on. We knew that going into the season.
If you don't win a Super Bowl, all the fancy drafting doesn't matter. None of it matters.
Right.
And so he's got to remember that. And sometimes people want to hang on to their draft picks. And
Scott Harris syndrome.
I respect the idea of trying to build something that's sustainable, and you need good drafting continuously to do that. And maybe this year wasn't the go for it moment. Because, here's the other problem. They would not have known they were going to lose Laporta by the deadline.
Yeah, I know.
So what do you do? They're not going to win a Super Bowl without a tight end of Laporta's caliber. I don't think. I think that's a death blow. That this team needs that kind of guy.
You don't believe in Brock Wright and Ross Dwelly?
Not the way this. No.
This
offense is not set up to win without an elite tight end. And maybe they got to do what the Kansas City Chiefs went out and got Noah Fant or whoever it is. They went out and got another one because it's Kelsey's getting old. Maybe you draft another tight end, number 8. I know people hate doing that stuff, but maybe that's what you do. I don't know. You got to
draft offensive linemen. I don't know why you don't draft offensive linemen the first 3 rounds of your draft. boom, boom, boom. Give me depth. I want extreme depth on the offensive. I mean, God bless America.
The hard thing about the NFL is it's just a league of heartbreak. It's a league where shit goes wrong more than it goes right.
And the NFL's ridiculous. And they can come back on Thursday on Thanksgiving and play the game of their lives and make you look like you're an idiot and go like, well, what was I worried about with the Giants? I'm just saying currently as we speak, if you watch that game today, you cannot be excited about going forward. I know winning 15 games last year and getting home field, it just seems like it's all fucking worthless. And I just like my Michigan fan friend Jordan always says, just give us one of these so we can just go away. And I believe that wholeheartedly. Just give me one. I want it, and then I'll just go away. You have to worry about the referees too. I mean, my God. But the defense, getting tricked like that, it was just fucking embarrassing. That was the same old Lions part. Like you said, Jahmyr Gibbs doing what he did, and the offensive, offense kicking in here in the end of the game. But Jesus H, man, that defense kind of scared me today.
Yeah, it's not. It's not promising.
Anyway, Michigan State football. How's that going?
Yeah. Let's go from to worse.
Oh man.
All right, let's do some MSU football here.
All right, I guess we have to.
Pound the bushes.
I did not make the trip to Iowa, as I've said multiple times, including one rather weirdly way by saying, "Who's not going to Iowa? This guy." Which was a weird way to do it. But it
happens.
That's me. What are you gonna do? Glad I didn't go. It was interesting watching it though, because there was a minute where I really thought they were going to win that game, and I've watched this team play enough this year that I never think they're going to win the game, even when the things are going okay. And so that told you that things were really going okay. It said some things about Iowa, which if I were an Iowa fan, I'd be frustrated by their ceiling and Kirk Ferentz and just their inability.
Is he the most overrated coach of all time?
Well, no,
in college football.
In some ways, he's the most underrated. In other ways, he's the most overrated. Because what he has done throughout time is something very difficult to do. He he has lost it several times. Like they've fallen off as a program, and he's gotten it back. And coaches will tell you the hardest thing to do is ever get it back once you've lost it, right? And
you just fire your son.
The problem is, like, they're one of these teams that can constantly, because they're solid and sound and there's good depth, they can play with Indiana. They were like 2 plays away from being in a college football playoff conversation, and yet they don't have enough playmakers to separate themselves from Michigan State. They don't have the quarterback play to do it. Michigan State, the best unit on the field for 3 quarters was Michigan State's defense. The better quarterback, Michigan State's quarterback. The better playmakers.
Poor kid running for his life.
Krishawn McCray, best playmaker on the field. Better tight ends, Michigan State's guys. I mean, where's that been, Jack Velling? And again, he has had an underwhelming career. We've talked about that, and really showed up. And you felt good for those guys, and they screwed it up. Now, part of it is they're not good enough to easily close a game like that. The defense is going to wear down, and it didn't just wear down because it's not capable of finishing a game. It wears down because it's on the field all the time, because the offense and the offensive line has such limitations, and you can't get in a rhythm when you can't protect a quarterback and the pocket's collapsing and all that stuff. But all of that said, that loss didn't have to happen. Just like the Nebraska loss didn't have to happen. This is one of those games where if you simply make different decisions at a few key times, like not punting to the most elite punt returner in college football repeatedly, you win the game. You win the freaking game. And then
we're taking some body blows.
You go, the weird thing is
he having a presser tomorrow?
He is.
Is anyone going to ask him about why they kicked it, that MFR, over and over again?
I think he was asked that at Iowa. And he again, Ryan Eckley was, I think, at fault for the last one. That was not the intent. They didn't say to Ryan Eckley, hey, man, we'd like to see how good we are in coverage. So if you would kick to this guy, he was supposed to kick that last one out of bounds and did not. And that, for a guy who's been an elite punter most of the year, he did not have a good day at the worst possible time. And he's had a couple games that haven't been great. And I think he's probably leaving for the NFL, but when he gets to the NFL, he's going to have to understand you cannot screw that up very often, because there are lots of guys trying to be a punter in the NFL, and the separation between the top guys is not all that much. And so you can't make that mistake. So I'm not putting that one.
Does that come off your foot wrong? Like, I need to know from Eckley, like, how do you screw something like that up? If the coach came up to you and said, hey, don't kick to that white guy down there, kick it out of bounds. And what, it just goes off of your...
They shouldn't have kicked to him previously. They had film on the guy. You know, it's not like
I can kick that thing out of bounds. I'll keep it away from him.
It's not like he's out of nowhere. You know, I mean, like there was just no point to ever kick. Especially he returns it for a touchdown, and then you kick to him again. I mean, they kicked to him 4 times in the game, and 3 of them were returns and pretty long returns. What are you doing? So that makes no sense. The other thing that I thought was just a weird call is, so at the end of the first half, you go for it when you're on your own side of the 50. You take a timeout with 12 seconds to go. You're trying to I understood what they were trying to do. They're trying to get one more play into field goal range and not give Iowa much time if something goes wrong. You get a turnover there. They got lucky. Iowa missed a field goal. I don't think that was the right decision, given they were getting the ball at the end of the half, given that line can't protect. But I didn't hate that decision as much as I hated the decision at the end of the game when it was tied and you had a 4th and 2 and you're 0-7 in the Big Ten. You're not going anywhere. Herm Edwards play to win the game. That is the moment to go for it.
That's a good ball club.
You're around midfield. It's 4th and 2. You've been doing well with the tight ends and other things. Like, find a way to get 2 yards there. Don't give the ball back to Iowa, certainly, and give yourself a chance to get in field goal range and try to win a game and play to win. What are you scared of in that moment? That decision bothered me a little bit. I think that the shame of it is it went from being one of those games that should have been the new signature win of the Jonathan Smith era, which I don't think is going to be around that much longer, but a game that people could feel good about.
Promise me that?
I can't promise you anything.
Damn it.
That they would feel good about, that the players deserved. They went in Iowa City and did something that people would remember. They looked prepared. They played hard. The defense has come a long way. Like, they went from this moment that should have been a great feeling to the same feeling they've had in losing a game. They've lost a lot of these games, and it didn't have to happen. And one of the things that has been one of the great struggles of the Jonathan Smith era is losing games in ways you didn't have to lose them, or having performances you didn't have to have, or having finishes that just weren't very strong. I mean, you go back to a year ago against Purdue, they won the game, but it was like they were hanging on at home against a bad Purdue team. This year there's just been a number of them, and it's just something that I think people can't take anymore. And I understand.
One more week.
Yeah, I understand. Some people think, well, he's going to stick around. Look at all these other programs and other things like that. You know what J Batt hasn't done? What the AD at Maryland and Wisconsin and a few other places has done. Come out and said he's coming back. And I'm not saying it can't happen to this point, but if J Batt brings Jonathan Smith back, that is his
show's over.
It's his first hire.
It's the end of the podcast.
It's him saying this, and again, if it happens because of financial limitations and all that stuff, that's even worse. Because then you're just doing something that you don't want to do because you have to do it. And that's no way.
I don't like that you're talking about this as a possibility.
I don't think it's going to happen.
I don't like your tone.
I don't think it's going to happen. I will be very surprised if we are sitting here a week from now.
Very surprised.
Very surprised.
You'd be shocked.
And he's still the head coach.
Okay.
I'll be very surprised.
All right. That makes me feel better.
Yeah.
I got to say, after all of that, though, I think I'd rather be in a position of Michigan State as a Michigan State fan than an Iowa fan, because I've had enough of Kirk Ferentz and this fucking thing about he's some legendary coach. He's had this stranglehold on the fan base, the Iowa fan base, for so long of like, oh, this guy, we love punts, and I just am so sick of it. The 4th down play, I don't know. Like, with Smith and everything he had going on, I just focus so much more on Kirk Ferentz and how long he's been getting away with this BS.
Well, you know what Iowa doesn't have is Michigan in their backyard. So Iowa is if you're wondering what it would be like to exist if you didn't have the angst that came with a rival right next door that was Michigan, and that relationship and how it and all the dynamics of it.
Have some pride, though. I mean, the offense that they've trotted out, how fucking embarrassing with your son as the OC. Have some pride, whether you don't have a rival or not. I don't care. I mean, the Iowa State game's a big game, right? It's a rivalry game for them. I just don't know why you would sit back and go, Kirk Ferentz, he gets us to 10 wins. I mean, who gives a shit?
But what I mean is you're
not winning a natty.
You don't have somebody historically in your backyard that's been just rubbing it in your face that's been better than you. And you have, that's what I mean. They live in a different kind of bubble out in Iowa, because I mean we have Scott Docterman all the time. I
love Scott Docterman.
He's great.
Yeah.
But you can tell from the tone of the people he writes for that even though they get frustrated with the offense, it's a pretty happy life out there, even though they're not that good.
I don't know. Scott Dock goes after his fan base a little bit.
Well, he does.
On Twitter.
He gives
It's
them
my
shit.
favorite thing in the world here. But yeah, I don't know. Okay, but yeah, if you want to sit there and put up with it and deal with it, I don't know.
It's
It's just amazing going through all of this with the Michigan State University and the football program, and I'm sitting there going like, oh man, it must suck to be an Iowa fan.
I remember being at Iowa in November of 2007, the first time that people were upset with Kirk Ferentz. Like after he got it rolling and then fell off a little bit. I was covering a 5-7 Western Michigan team that went to Iowa and won 28-19 because they had playmakers, and Iowa didn't. It was the same shit then. You're talking 18 years ago. Iowa had the same problems, and the Western Michigan went there and said, they had like 2 or 3 borderline NFL guys, and that was more than Iowa had, and boom, 28-19.
Iowa just has a couple great white guys.
Yeah.
Overachieving white guys.
They do manage to find unbelievable white kick returners. I mean, there's like one of them in the world, and Iowa somehow has 2.
I know. I saw Cooper DeJean, like he was playing basketball. They were doing some pickup thing, and someone threw it off the backboard, and he did a reverse. I was like, holy shit. Yeah. Look at that guy. That's a white guy. Anyway.
Pretty remarkable.
I know. It's great when Whitey's good at something,
Yeah, it's yeah.
All right.
All right, you got anything else before we dig into these takes?
What do we know? No.
Okay.
I think we're good.
All right, well, let's dig into these listener takes.
All right. Where are we at here? Hold on. Give me some off, maybe? No. No. Yes. I got you. Nope. Eric Schultz. Here he is. Number 1, get this clown off my campus. 2, a real coach with this exact same roster is sitting at 6-5 right now.
I think that the frustrating thing for a lot of people is very easily this Michigan State team is good enough to be 6-5. That's the problem. It's not, again, we have talked about, I've said again is like a preface to the beginning of a sentence 12 times without having said anything before.
Like when people go, listen.
Well, the problem with again is you have to have said it before.
Right.
And I actually haven't actually said it before, and I keep saying it again. I'm just not very good at this.
Yeah.
But
when you do a 2-hour show with 1 3-minute break, you can tend to say a lot of different things.
we're in the first 15 minutes of it, though. That's not great. Not great.
Hey, listen, I'm trying to help you out.
Thank you. If you just look at Michigan State, like they have not had the resources. He has not had a fair run up. A lot of things have not been fair for Jonathan Smith in terms of trying to build a program and do it the way he wants to do it. But there's no excuse to be 3-8. There's no excuse for the way they lost to Rutgers last year. And so basically, the way they finished last year and the way they've done this entire Big Ten season, there's just no excuse for it. Because Eric's right here. I mean, they should have beaten Minnesota. They're as good as Minnesota. They should have beaten Nebraska. I would argue pound for pound, they're actually better than Nebraska. UCLA, that was a weird day, and UCLA was fired, but they had a chance to put their foot on UCLA's throat there. Then Iowa here. I mean, there's just a number of games that.
So you're saying give them 1 more year?
That's not.
See what happens?
No, you just can't. Yeah, at some point you have to win the games you have a chance to win, and that has not happened. And I think that's the most damning thing.
Dominic, number 1, when Smith gets fired, David Harns will say the following. Congratulations, Michigan State. You just created 1 million Jonathan Smiths. And 2, on my dad's grave. If I'm at an event and they show Alan Haller and I see Couch try to start a slow clap with a nod, I swear to God I'll contact Kalamazoo County's Sheriff's Office and have them reopen your gay stairway cold case. Try me, Gramanito. And 3, Dan Grave taking shots at MSU, saying it's ironic that MSU had wins vacated and not Michigan. You're right, Dan. Cheating is hilarious. Tee-hee. Enjoy your fake title. And bonus, I have big news to announce next show. No, I'm not going to be a dad. I didn't throw a gay guy down the stairs, nor am I going to the Athletic.
So we have to wait for the next show, Dominic?
Well, if you got a new job, don't tell Couch because he's going to get on here and tell everybody where you work and what the address is.
Yeah, your home address, no phone number, all
whatever
that
it
stuff.
is. Congrats.
Yeah. It's. I apologize. Yeah. Thank you, Dominic.
Kurt Wisniewski, MSU's collapse with 3 minutes left is not just another loss. It's the final nail in the coffin of Jonathan Smith's tenure at MSU. It's impossible that this administration can justify keeping the staff.
I mean, if the coffin, I don't know what, like if they win the game, does it change it? To me, it doesn't. Like it's a great moment late in the year and you feel good for everybody involved because they've gone through a lot of misery. I just don't think it changes anything. I don't think you're still playing. I think the cake's baked at this point.
hope so. Spartan Johnny, very excited for a Sunday evening show, even if it means you leave us for a week. Thanks, boys.
Appreciate you, man.
Well, I'll be here. Couch is the one leaving.
Yeah, apologies.
Yeah. Ken Chu. 4th and 2 with 47 seconds left was a great time to snap it to the running back when Alessio drops back to pooch punt. Would have won this game easily, though, if you just don't kick it to Wetchin. This is the most inept coaching staff, except Rossi, I've ever seen at MSU. And I was here for Muddy Waters. And it says and from. But
well, I think I moved somebody else's, or
right.
I deleted the take. Whatever it is, you never know. There have been, look, I don't think this is an inept staff. I don't. I think they've.
Well, Rossi.
Well, period. I don't think Jonathan Smith's an inept coach.
He's a good guy.
Beyond that, whatever he is. I mean, I think he was. I just
should have 6 wins.
But it is. He has made decisions time and time again that haven't worked, and some of them have been questionable. And you just, it is what it is at this point. I don't even know what to say. Where do we go from here?
It is what it is.
This is why I didn't go to
exactly
Iowa. This is why I didn't go to Iowa. The reason I didn't go to Iowa was I remember I was talking to my editor, and I was like, the hell am I going to write that's any different than what I've been writing? Like, I don't need to drive 6 hours each way to write the same shit I've been writing. It's like nothing to me is going to change to the point that I just didn't see the storyline changing much.
Ryan Rockwell, number 1. Wait, how does MSU do the exact same thing at Iowa and kick to Wetchin after they did it 2 years ago with Cooper DeJean? 2, I've given up on MSU football from the top of the administration down. It seems like no one actually cares about how the university is seen or how alumni feel. Maybe because they have no emotional connection to the university.
So I think this is a little premature. What can seem to be true doesn't mean it's true. You have a relatively new AD who's just rounding out his staff at this point, who is about to make a massive decision. Let him make it. Like, to me, again, if see, I said again, if they keep Jonathan Smith, that is the first big decision by J Batt, and essentially it becomes Jonathan Smith becomes his hire next year, right? That's his decision, and even if I think if he made that decision, he'd be a little hamstrung in doing it. That would be the only reason he did it. But so let's see what the decision is. Let's see where they go from here. Kevin Guskowitz made the move to get rid of Alan Haller because he thought something needed to be done, and he didn't like the direction certain things were going in with football, especially. And J Batt was brought in. So let's let that happen. Let's let the decisions be made. I don't
let the bushes be pounded.
Yeah, I don't think there's lack of care behind this right now. I don't think that's what's happening. I mean, I understand the football season can be long and frustrating, but let's see what J Batt does.
But you're saying there is care. There's someone caring about the situation.
Yeah, all these guys care. You don't not care, and of course they care. Now, do they?
It feels like some don't care sometimes, though. You have to admit.
Well, I mean, there might be a difference between like bleeding for the university, like some people do, and taking it as a job that you care about and you want to get right. I mean, that can be a difference. But I don't think what's happening right now is a lack of care. It's not like J Batt's at home right now going, man, I would fire Jonathan Smith, but there's a Hallmark movie marathon on right now, and I'd rather do that. Yeah.
Heja, BVB next. Hey, Jason, Smith is a nice guy. Presented by Graham Couch. Great guy. Oh, man, taking body blows, man. Jeff Dillon, conspiracy take. I can't wait to stop hearing about how great of a guy Jonathan Smith is. It's going to be the best part.
I am looking for – I don't want anybody to be fired because of this show.
Mm-hmm.
But I am looking forward to
having Jonathan Smith fired because of the show.
Turning the page on the takes in the conversation. Yeah.
Jeff Dillon, conspiracy take. J Batt was in NYC, that's New York, on Tuesday night for the basketball game. It was then reported that Pat Fitzgerald was at the Giants practice on Wednesday supporting Mike Kafka. Let's see it, Graham. Blink twice if J Batt and Pat Fitzgerald had a secret meeting in New York. Blink, blink. Jeff Millay next. Trey Fort, Kurt Tang, and Jordan Scott were a combined 2-15 on field goals and 1-10 on three-pointers against Detroit. We should start Jordan Scott for his defensive length and rebounding and accelerate the freshman's scoring ability and confidence. And from Professor, the key to the basketball season is Jordan Scott becoming a reliable shooter from the outside. His defense is already better than Fort and Tang. And bonus, Alessio's ice pack and ibuprofen budget might set school records.
That guy takes some blows.
Huh?
You know what I mean? Hits.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's all you give kids now is ibuprofen? No
Yeah.
good drugs anymore, huh?
They probably take shots, right? I'd want some sort of needle stuck in my ass to make the pain go away. To the basketball points, I do hear your voice in my head when I take a shit. Yeah, I'll be curious how this plays out. I think Jordan Scott has certainly maybe the highest. Well, he has the highest potential as an all-around player of those 3-2 guards because of his defense and other things. And if he starts shooting, but you don't have to give him that job before he's earned it. It's just you can disperse the minutes based game to game. Who's playing well? If Kurt Tang's playing well, play more Kurt Tang. If Jordan Scott's playing well, play more George Scott. If Trey Fort winds up doing that, let it be more Trey Fort. Who starts isn't that relevant. Eventually, if Jordan Scott emerges as that guy, you can reward him, and it's better to have that for your. If it's better for your team to have him start, that's fine. You saw that with Jace Richardson a year ago, and eventually it was like, this guy's got to start. They're not starting games great. This is the best player on the team. He's got to start. I don't think it matters whether he starts or not, but I do think him, like, you're looking at a guy who's like plus 17, plus 18, plus 19, plus minus half the time he's in the game. He's fantastic freshman year so far, doing all the little things. If he can also shoot, it changes this team considerably because you're right, he is the best at everything else, and so it's something to watch. It's one of those things in the games they're playing East Carolina, like on Tuesday. That's what you want to happen. Jordan Scott hits some threes, right? It's not that you don't want it to happen against North Carolina, Iowa, or Duke, but when they're playing these lesser teams, if somebody can get some shooting confidence and a guy like that especially, I think that would go a long way.
Ralphie next. Okay, be honest. What did you think of drafting a running back with the 12th pick at the time? And no MSU football comments. Hope you guys have a great week. We'll miss the shows. How are you? Are you taking Miss Graham anywhere nice on Thanksgiving Eve? Sunset on Sanibel.
I don't. We'll figure that out. We haven't really discussed it yet. But I don't even know where Sanibel is. Sanibel must be an island that's right there next to Fort Myers.
You don't want a sunset on Sanibel?
Whatever she wants to do is great by me. We're just looking at getting the warm weather, and she doesn't have to host Thanksgiving when she goes with me.
Oh, and what did we think about the 12th pick at the time?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs, running back at 12. I wasn't super excited about it, but it was one of those things where you're like, all right, well, Brad Holmes, it's his draft. Let's see what happens with it. What are you supposed to say?
He's been pretty good with those first-round picks.
Yeah.
That's not been an issue for him. Does he have a first-round miss since he's been there?
You want me to give you some off?
Yeah, hold on.
I am the passenger.
That's crazy.
And I ride and I ride. I ride through the
All right, so well, Talik Williams,
you can't say that.
Too early. Too early. So Terry and Arnold, 24th. When he gets down there, I guess. Yeah, maybe so. But Jahmyr Gibbs, Jack Campbell, and then Sam Laporta, 34, Brian Branch, 45. The 2003 draft until Hendon Hooker. But those first four guys, Gibbs, Campbell, Laporta, Branch, is one of the great drafts you'll ever have. That's a great first and second round. That's pretty unbelievable. Aiden Hutchinson, Jameson Williams, been pretty good. Kirby Joseph was a third-round pick in that draft. So, I mean, he's had some. Panay Sewell, obviously. The rest of that, Ali McNeil was in that draft in the third round. St. Brown was in the fourth round. So 21 was a really good draft. 22 pretty good. 23 great. But yeah, no, it's 25 is a little concerning actually as a draft. But yeah,
Go Lions, restore the roar.
David Jackson next. This punter is going to the NFL. Since we didn't trust him to kick high 35-yard punts requiring a fair catch, we had to use a quarterback to do a sneak punt. Everyone can return kicks except us. MSU has the worst special teams coaching in America. Our Serb deserved better. And two, if he gave me a second take, it would be about how Nick Marsh quit on his team a month ago. He'd have likely left the team, except he wants his final NIL paychecks. He can't leave soon enough. Don't put him on the travel squad versus Maryland. Play someone who wants to compete.
So I'm torn on Nick Marsh a little bit here. I'm torn between quitting's way too strong a word. Is he a guy who's looking forward to the season being over I wouldn't be surprised.
Like the rest of us?
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. I also think that there are parts of his game that aren't that polished yet, and we're seeing it. Like, he gets a lot of attention, and he doesn't know how to deal with it. And now he had a really bad drop in the Iowa game, and he's had some moments that aren't great. But there are times out there you see some of the blocks he makes, and you're like, man, that guy's still doing it. He's still working. I just think there are elements of his game that aren't actually that great yet. You think of a guy like Jaden Reed when he was at Michigan State and the way he could go high point a ball and catch it in traffic and things like that. That's not who Nick Marsh is right now. And he's got to work on it. He's got a ways to go. Like, I thought at the beginning of this year it kind of sucked for him that he had to do 2 more years at college. That guy needs more time before he's an NFL receiver. He is an incredible physical specimen. He has a chance to be a good receiver, but he's not a great receiver right now. He's a great athlete. He's an okay receiver. And
put him on a team that's playing that's well and it isn't an absolute shit show. And I will show you a Nick Marsh that's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's possible. Yeah, it's possible.
I mean, are we trying to devalue Nick Marsh so no one will come snatch him up? Is that what we're trying to do here?
I don't care what he does.
I know you don't care. I'm just saying. Is that what we're trying to do? Is like, I mean, come on. Money bag. Number 1, when Nick Marsh asks for another raise, we shouldn't give it to him. And 2, Michigan and Ohio State is a fake rivalry they lean into for football because of national media attention. It's telling that they don't care about each other in sports like basketball where media doesn't care about them.
Well, I think football is king at those 2 schools. It's not they don't care about those rivalries. They don't care as much. There's no doubt. But football is just king. It's not a fake rivalry. It's just not. It's a rivalry that defines tenures entirely. I mean, their football coach. If Ryan Day loses this game this year and then wins another national title, they may fire him. I don't know. I just don't it matters so much to people.
That's when college football should just explode.
Yeah.
Everything.
And I love that there are games that mean so much within a season, because that's one of the problems of an expanded playoff is you lose some of the regular season meaning.
C-Dubs 91 hot take. If a team has to vacate wins, players should be allowed to count that as a redshirt year if they weren't the reason for the vacated wins. And Baked, the Big Ten is telling officials to purposefully miss calls to make MSU lose. Missed offsides on the punt, touchdown, and pass interference was brutal.
Officials are not the reason MSU is 3-8. However, there are several calls this year that if they had gone differently, MSU might have 2 more wins.
Yeah. I was about to say they're responsible for at least 4 losses, right? The refs.
But then everybody wants Jonathan Smith gone. Jonathan Smith would be coming back for sure.
Fire the refs. I mean, pick one.
Okay.
I'm willing.
Yeah. I mean, you can't.
I need names. Let's fire those guys.
So if they had, if Michigan State was 5-5 or 5, they're 5-6. Yeah, 5-6. If they were 6-5, he'd be coming back for sure. I think 5-6 would be the whole conversation would be different. But
such a shame.
I like the first one here because there's something to this idea that if the game doesn't exist, if you vacate it, there's no record. If it didn't happen, then why should I have to? If you taking away a game I played in, then why should that count towards my eligibility? You said it didn't happen. That win did not happen. Now, if you play more than 4 games, right, it's not a redshirt year. So you would need it to be something where you didn't lose so many games because those losses weren't vacated. They just lost those games. So I like where your head's at though, and I think in court you might actually have a case if you were like, I only actually played in 3 or 4 games where there's an actual record of these games ever happening because these were vacated. That doesn't count towards me. NCAA's not winning a single court case right now. If I wanted to play another year, I would take a stab at it.
Chris Eastlick next. Number 1, by delaying the Smith decision, regardless of whether he stays or goes, you're doing more harm than good. Clarity cannot be understated as you head into the portal and signing day. And 2, NIL support does not change bad in-game coaching decisions, timeout usage, bad play calls, and clock management, etc. These 2 years haven't looked anything like what I expected from Smith.
No, me neither.
But he's a really good guy, Chris.
I thought he was going to be I thought he was going to bring competence to MSU football. I thought they were going to look like a competent team out there and a competent staff all the time. And I think that's been the most for everybody watching it, the most disheartening thing. Because if it had been what people thought, it would have been very interesting to watch how people would have dealt with his lack of fire and all that stuff. And there would have been some frustration. And I know people probably would have been out on him and all that stuff. But if you felt like that guy was bringing competence to your program all the time, most people would be okay with it. And they'd get used to the different personality and all that stuff.
DMB, number one, college football is increasingly harder to gamble on. Super conferences have led to diluted betting lines. Lucky schedule goes a long ways. And two, if Smith comes back, I will give up my season tickets. It's financially and emotionally the only logical option. I've had them since 2011 and traveled from Wisconsin for 10 of those years. Wow. Three, Alessio, a.k.a. the Russian, has a very high ceiling. He is elite in staying in the pocket and progressing through his reads.
Yeah, Solari and I disagreed about this the other day. I think Alessio is
Graham.
I think he's got some real elite traits, and it's not just hanging in there. I do think the way he gets through his reads to second and third reads is something that not a lot of quarterbacks do. Now, some of that has to do with his ability to hang in there. Chris pointed out there were some happy feet. I think you get hit enough, you start to lose your confidence a little bit, and Michigan State's got to be careful with that. But I think he's a guy, you obviously got to build an offensive line. You got to work on the line of scrimmage in the offseason. But whoever the coach is should want that guy back. And I think MSU fans can appreciate somebody getting knocked down like that and keep getting up, and some of the traits he has. Man, driving from Wisconsin though for 10 years, that's a lot of commitment.
And then driving right back, or you stay at someone's house, or that's wild.
This is the question though when people talk about money and the financial ramifications of firing a coach and keeping them. And while it is costly to get rid of a coach, it can be really costly to keep one. And if you lose people and they don't easily come back, once you give up your season tickets, once you have a year where you watch games in the comfort of your home, like the Rube over here, and you realize, man, I got
like Graham over there.
Or yes,
that guy's not going to Iowa over there.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
And you got 40 MGs in your system, and life is good. You got a bathroom right around there.
3 TVs going. You had golf on today.
You're doing your part by paying for Xfinity, for example, because that's part of the TV deal, right? It's like when you pay for Xfinity, you're helping MSU. That's part of the deal. You're paying for NIL or the rev share and all that stuff, right? You get that great experience for yourself, and you're helping your school. But when you do that for a while, when you get away, when you give up tickets, the odds that you come back, I don't know. Especially if you're driving from Wisconsin, I don't know if you might really not want to do that. I think there is a cost to keeping somebody. I think it's a pretty high cost.
Beppe Plum next. Colonoscopy without sedation is less crappy than the MSU game. The last 5 Lions games I have watched live have also been losses, so I must be ass for that. I will not watch the rest of the year.
What's one game? Saturday night. So
stop going.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's talking about the Lions games. He's not going to watch.
Last 5 Lions games I've watched live have also been losses, so stop watching.
Yeah, you can't.
Sorry, Beppe.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, you're a mush. It's unfortunate. Spartan Dog, 97. Nobody on the beat asks Smith hard questions, and it's infuriating. Why did no one ask, what have you seen this season that contributes to the vision you have for the program? Why were no questions about whether Chad Wilt or Lindgren are a part of that vision? J Batt is at every press conference. Why is he not asked about Smith's future? If he refuses to comment, that should be included in the story you write. Everyone just lets him repeat the same phrases over and over. If you want to participate in phony journalism, at least cash that AI pack while you do it.
Well, these are fair questions. I'll say on the J Batt front, and I wasn't in Iowa, but I know some of the guys were looking at. I think he slipped out the back door before they could talk to him. But he also has been at least through a spokesperson, asked for comment, and we've been told he's not going to comment on the season.
See, go back to Chris Eastlick's first take, though. Isn't he right about that? Isn't it almost detrimental to your team, like to keep a guy like Jonathan Smith as a dead man walking? Because that way, if there were an interim coach, you would have all the relief of not worrying about, is this guy coming back? And then J Batt wouldn't have to sneak out the back door. I just feel it would make it much easier if Rossi was the head coach, knowing full well he wasn't coming back the next year. Like, we're moving on. So people have to sit there and threaten their season tickets and all this other shit when we don't want to do that.
Right. No, I see what you're saying. I think as long as it happens at the end of the year, it's fine. I don't, and I go back to what years are like when coaches are fired in season and the disruptive nature to that, and what seasons usually become, and it's not great, and it's not a great experience for players. I understand that for fans, sort of the angst and anxiety of where this is going is.
So J Batt's
really
there like, man, I got to sneak out of this MFR. I hate Jonathan Smith so much. Right? Like,
well, I don't know if he did. I don't know if
Jonathan Smith did this to me, and then Alan Haller did this to me.
I don't know if he did it intentionally or he just.
Well, yeah, he did it intentionally. Why would you want to sit there? What are you supposed to say? You have a dead man walking coach.
Again, I wasn't there yesterday, so I don't know the exact circumstances.
No, you weren't there.
But these are fair points, and the questions about Wilt and Lindgren, like, to me, however, like, I don't think Jonathan Smith is part of Michigan State's future as the football coach. So what's it matter about Lindgren or Wilt? However, that said, you're right that there probably haven't been enough questions about what's your vision going forward. Like, how does this, like, sell, and it's gotten more in that direction. I'll be surprised.
Because everybody's curious. And you're putting us through this. We want to, ask them questions.
I think Monday's press conference this week will be interesting on that front. I will not be there, of course. I'm in Florida, but so I apologize for that. But
guess who's not going to be there?
This guy.
Be in Florida. Spartholomew. Everything that's transpired in the past few months tells you all you need to know about this MSU brass. Money above all. Not fighting the NCAA to not pay Tuck. Not fighting the PE deal because you need money. And not firing your head coach because you either think someone else will do your dirty work or you're just plain cheap. Occam's razor. Sometimes the most obvious answer is, in fact, the answer. And bonus, stuff Brad Holmes into a fucking locker. Glad their pathetic, good, never great approach is punching them straight in the dick.
Do you think this will be?
Wow, all right.
Do you think this will be an offseason that makes them change any of their approach? I'm talking Brad Holmes and the Lions here.
If you haven't changed before this, I don't understand what's this offseason going to bring. I mean.
And so
right? It happened last year.
What should that approach be different? How should the approach be different? Like,
get depth.
Yeah.
Get depth. Don't think all of your guys are going to stay healthy. It's fucking impossible. I get everybody has injuries, but when you see your guys going through, it's just like, dude, there's no way. I understand you next man up. It's just impossible to do in the NFL. You have to make some moves. The Eagles have they've shown you the blueprint of how to do it. You don't have to mortgage your future. I can understand you don't want to sit there and give 4 first-round picks for this guy or this guy, but you have to make some little small moves to get you some depth. I mean, Jesus, get some help for your guys is all. Matt C., not only is J Batt working a deal to ship Jonathan Smith back to Oregon State to avoid the buyout, he's also got Urban Meyer locked up to replace him. The only explanation on the silence and sly grins. Herb.
Yeah.
It's good to have that rumor back.
That is, I'm telling you, the Oregon State thing is the ideal situation, right? The perfect world for MSU. And I'm not
Is it ideal for Jonathan Smith, though?
Yeah, probably.
Coming back?
Yes. The ideal thing for everybody in this
I'm back.
situation, including for Oregon State. Because Oregon State is now a high mid-major. And so Oregon State's ability to recruit a coach who's a proven coach who's won at their school and done it is much less than it would have been before. And Oregon State's a place that has not won that often. And they won with Jonathan Smith. And there may be some hurt feelings that they'd have to get over. The best thing that could happen for all parties, best case scenario, is Smith goes to Oregon State, which has struggled mightily since he left. Michigan State waives the buyout because they don't, they're happy to facilitate it. And so there's no buyout for Oregon State to pay Michigan State, but then Michigan State doesn't owe Jonathan Smith anything either because they're not firing him. He's just leaving for Oregon State. That would be the ideal situation in all of this. And if that is the play, again, I don't know that that's the play, but I do think that there are people in the world who are hoping that's the play that aren't just me, right? And aren't just that are around MSU. If that were the play, that would be, I'm not saying it would be the equivalent of chess, but it would be a really savvy, perfect situation.
Be like Candyland
for all parties involved. Yeah.
Matt C. Graham, check the tape. I said after Izzo won the Big Ten and made the Elite Eight, I'd never say Izzo was washed again on this pod. Do not dishonor me. 2021 to 2023, we're terrible.
All right, well, we're not going to check the tape. I will just have to trust you, Matt C.
It's the American way, except America has gotten soft.
Parks, Peyton. Since Wisconsin stormed the field after beating Illinois, we should storm Ford Field if we beat Maryland. It would be a signature win and baked. The NCAA should let us play Purdue for the Big Ten Toilet Bowl. It must be outside on a really cold day, and Childs has to start.
Oh,
wow, sounds like fun.
Yeah, no, that's nobody. It was
with the Red Box
Bowl. It was weird to see what's happening with Wisconsin here, and it is interesting to watch how little separation there are between some of these teams in terms of overall talent, because Wisconsin was awful for a while this season, and Illinois was pretty good. And then you watch that game, and you're like, how were those teams at one point so different? And now, it's interesting.
Brett Bielema. Nate next. Smith made a mess of both end of half-clock management situations. As another Jay Smith once said, the kids are playing their tails off, and their coaches are screwing it up. Bonus. We will not be giving Haller a standing ovation in 10 years. Sorry, Graham.
You know what? If
10 years? Yeah.
It'll be a small ovation. I didn't say it was a standing ovation. It's going to be it's golf claps when they see us. People will appreciate
Will you stand?
I would not stand. I would just start the clapping.
Will you stand like when Izzo retires? Will you stand for that?
No, that's not my job. I don't know.
What the are you out of your mind? You better stand.
Why would I stand
Izzo
for Izzo?
Made you, dude. What are you talking
Izzo
about?
Didn't make me.
He made you. Dude.
Izzo didn't make me. How did Izzo make me? Izzo make me.
It's the American way, except America has gotten soft.
Izzo made me.
Bull in a china closet.
Fuck it, ain't me.
I didn't know that was going to touch a nerve.
Izzo made me. Oh, man.
You're the one that made me do a show on a Sunday night. This is your fault.
I apologize.
All right.
I apologize. Yeah.
All right. Alexis. Of course, it's frustrating for our Spartan football team to be this awful, but where does the entitlement come from that MSU football is supposed to be a top 25 program? It sounds like Uncle Rico delusions of grandeur, clinging to Coach D'Antonio's outlier success from 15 years ago. This arrogant disconnect from reality fuels that fringe, bloodlusting rage you've written about. Some fans need to calm down and come to terms with the fact that the college football landscape is hyper-competitive. All 70 Power 4 programs are trying to improve, but there will always be programs on the bottom of the Big Ten and in that 50 to 70 range in Power 4. And P.S. Still randomly laughing at the Susie Merchant story from a couple episodes ago.
Yeah, you know what I didn't have when Susie Merchant saw me is at 284 pounds? A muskox flannel. That would have helped. Because then it would have just, I'm telling you, if you balloon up, you put on a few pounds over Thanksgiving, over the holidays, another thing that muskox is here for, it helps you hide it. It really does. I mean, I'm telling you, a lot of my shirts, I put them on, and when I've gained a few, you can see every line. If I start to sweat, you can see it right under my breasts. Like it's just not great. But you don't see any of that with a muskox flannel. It just covers up your worst parts, accentuates your best, and you're comfortable and you're confident. Again, gomuskox.com. Use the promo code PEACOCK for $15 off your purchase. And
Peacock?
Right now, if there's somebody you're thinking, I need a great gift for somebody, and you want to show them you care, this holiday season, a muskox flannel. Again, go muskox. Lots of great offerings there. And show the people you care in your life that you care how they look and how they feel with a muskox flannel.
Is it really entitlement, though, to Alexis's number one? How are you supposed to feel? You have to have some sort of pride and thought that your football program is good. You can't sit there and be like, oh, whatever.
Right.
Whatever we get, it's fine. Great. No, that's not how you want to be.
There's nothing wrong with wanting improvement and striving to be. Now,
there's no national championship swag by any means, but you want to sit there and think that your football program can be elite.
And
that's
there's
the hope.
There's a difference between hope and entitlement. Right. And I think that's, I don't know that Michigan State fans are entitled. I think they're frustrated, and they've seen something work really well just a decade ago, and it sucks right now, and they're sick of it.
Yeah.
And so I think that's more what it comes down to. I do agree that there is a discussion, to Alexis's point, on supposed to be a top 25 program, and I think Dane Grafe brought this up in a previous episode. Like, in this modern era, is Michigan State a top 20, a top 30? Like, what is it anymore? Do we really know? Because you look Indiana, which was nowhere near that. Nobody would argue that they're not one of those programs now. And a lot of different teams can be that. And you have to nurture it, and you have to create it, and you have to create that momentum and everybody moving in the same direction on your campus. And Michigan State has failed to do that. So what you're supposed to be, who the hell really cares? And you are up against everybody wanting to do this, especially in this new era. People like Vanderbilt see an opportunity. I totally get that. But the frustration, and it's not all on Jonathan Smith. It's just been exacerbated, and he's been the wrong personality for the wrong time, and the execution results have obviously hurt as well.
Rich Searing, number 1, Nebraska, Minnesota, and now Iowa. All games we could have and should have won, even with the pathetic offensive line. That would have been 6 wins. That's on the coaches. Poor clock management, poor play calling, and terrible halftime adjustments. No more excuses for Smith. He can't explain this away anymore. And 2, with this roster, D'Antonio wins at least 6, maybe even 8 games. I know his era ended with a thud, but even that wasn't this bad. I feel sorry for these players. And next year, I'm sure no matter who we get, it will be an uphill battle when our best guys transfer.
What Michigan State football really needs for next year, though, is they need somebody that people like and believe in. You can put up, and I know that fans, it feels like you can't put up with another bad year or years of rebuilding, and it just feels like they keep going. But you can put up with a little bit of pain on the field if you believe in the person who's on the sideline. And right now people don't, and that's the hard thing. You don't see it getting better. You don't see how it would get better in the future, and so you just want to make that move and get on with it. I think if you have somebody, it's very unlikely that next year is going to be a really smooth MSU football season. Doesn't mean they won't get a good person who'll bring in some people and they'll overachieve and it'll be a little fun here and there, but there are going to be some hiccups. People just need to be able to believe in the person who's running the show and the possibilities for the future. And I think that's the hard thing. When you lose hope, and I think people have just lost hope, and there's nothing that Jonathan Smith has said that's produced more hope. Like, it'd be one thing if he could really explain it well, and this is the vision, and this is why it's tough, but here's how it's going to happen. But that has not been a strength. That's not something he's been able to do until there is no hope.
Cooper next. Number 1, couches. Keep your donut out where I can see it from Monday's show. Needs to be a drop on Jason's board. And 2, loss to Iowa was entirely Smith-created loss. Not even a talent issue. Inexcusable game management all around.
Speaking of donuts, do want to let people know that Groovy Donuts has different hours this week for Thanksgiving. They'll be closed Thursday and Friday so their team can celebrate Thanksgiving with family and friends, but will be open Saturday and Sunday, 7 a.m. to 1 p.m. as usual, with all promotions available this weekend. Again, groovydonuts.com. Place your order today. Make Groovy Donuts part of your Thanksgiving weekend. And if you're at home on Saturday, like Saturday, you've got Michigan, Ohio State. Lots of stuff going on. Probably some good Premier League soccer in the morning. Got Xfinity on. You're good to go. And at night, you've got to watch this MSU Maryland game in front of 12,000 people at Ford Field. That's
12,000?
That's a situation where you want a muskox flannel and a box of Groovy Donuts, and just a way to get through it.
Are they BOGOing these tickets?
How many people?
Buy one, you can bring whoever you want.
That's pretty much what it is right now.
I mean, 12,000.
What would it take for you to go to Ford Field this weekend?
Mushrooms.
That's it?
Yeah, well, that would be the start.
Okay.
Some monetary
people have
inspiration.
You'd have to be paid. It's a Bob Uecker baseball card.
And can I just go to Greektown instead? Go to the casino?
That's part of the problem.
Do I have to go to the game?
To actually go to the game, how much money would somebody have to pay?
I would need mushrooms and $1,000.
Okay.
Yep.
There you go.
That's my appearance fee. Izzo's no longer got to go. Tuesday was glory. MSU basketball, Red Wings, Pistons, USA soccer win. This weekend, opposite, solely because MSU football is the black hole of doom that sucks the life, energy, and light out of everything. It doesn't matter who comes in as coach. He will be sucked into the black hole. Yeah, a little upside there at the end.
Yeah, it's not great. It just feels that way.
No matter who you hire.
Yeah, I think that when you get a decade into struggling, it feels like a black hole to people. Yeah.
So Urban Meyer, you don't care? Bring him in. Herb. There. Sparty Barb. Bonus take.
Clearly I separated her too. Sorry, Sparty.
Thank you, MSU Women's Soccer, for saving my Spartan Sports weekend. So proud of this team. Graham, this team is 100% worth not going to Iowa for. Let's get the Final Four appearance.
It is if
anybody say hi to you today? They go up to you and go, "Hey, man."
couple people. Yeah. It was
Pat
good.
you on the back.
Yeah, it was fun to be.
Throw anything?
No, nobody threw anything, which is nice. It was nice. It was fun to be there. Look, I really enjoy watching soccer from the field level, which I've been fortunate to do it at the level that they play it. It's one of the better entertainment values. And I'll tell you, if Stanford loses to BYU tomorrow afternoon, Monday afternoon, then Michigan State would host BYU on Saturday at noon at DeMartin Stadium. So if you don't want to watch that Michigan-Ohio State game, if that's just going to make you feel all sorts of ways and unhappy, you could go to DeMartin Stadium and watch Michigan State women in the Elite Eight against BYU. If Stanford wins the game, Michigan State will be at Stanford next weekend. But, yeah, still a very very cool run for a program that's got it rolling. This is how good they have it going with MSU women's soccer, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
Today they were saying that they finally got over the Sweet 16 curse. They couldn't get past the Sweet 16. Like, their curse is the Sweet 16. It's like, we get stuck at the Sweet 16 every year. Like, that's if every year you're stuck at the Sweet 16 and that's your curse, life is good.
Scotty Green's El Camino. Joe Rossi deserves a ton of credit. That defense has shown significant growth. Call me simple, but I like a coach who shows some emotion and visibly congratulates his players. And bonus, Fat Couch and Zion Williamson are both 284 pounds. Trick question. Something tells me he carries it better. Susie Merchant would probably agree.
I think Fat Zion is quite a bit heavier than 284. That man is like, 6'10", 6'9"? He's got to be 3. I mean, Zion was a big deal because he was a huge guy, and I just broke my chair.
That was not Zion who blew out a chair, by the way. That was Graham Couch.
I'm sure Zion has blown out a chair in his life. I mean, Zion was a big deal because he was a huge guy, and I just broke my chair.
Listen to how that blows out. Hold on.
I mean, Zion was a big deal because he was a huge guy, and I just broke my chair. I mean, Zion was a big deal because he was a huge guy, and I just broke. Yeah, no, I do. I do want to say, like, Zion Williamson, to me, is still one of the most disappointing stories coming out of an NBA draft. There are guys I wanted to watch play. There are very few people that, like, I will pay to watch that play. Guys that, like,
kind of like Ja Morant now too, right?
Yeah, and it just hasn't.
Category.
Was it same draft too? I can't.
No,
it wasn't.
Zion wasn't Ja? No, yeah,
same draft, 1 and 2, right? Hold on, give me some off. 1 second.
Two old guys here. No fucking memory.
Out of the sky, yeah, the bright and hollow sky. You know it looks so good tonight.
Let's go green. Go God. Come on.
There we go. 1 and 2. They went Zion Williamson, Ja Morant.
That's right.
And then R.J. Barrett, DeAndre Hunter, so on and so forth. Yeah.
Munfield Keg next. Watch MSU bring back Smith, and then some other school comes and poaches Rossi. If Smith does come back, there is no way you bring back every coach, right? I'd start with Chad Wilt.
Well, if you're in charge of special teams, I think your job has to probably be in a little bit of peril right now. Look, that's the other problem is at some point, people on the staff, if you do have good coaches, start to think this guy's a dead man walking eventually, and they start to look around for other jobs. It's going to happen eventually. I don't see how you don't get it done now.
So when Nick Marsh doesn't feel like playing, it's on him. But when coaches are sitting there going, "Oh man, I'm working with a dead man walking guy. Why would I want to?"
Well, yeah.
I'm sorry. You're just giving Nick Marsh some
Was I giving Nick Marsh unfair shit?
Yeah, I think so. Like, I just don't. I mean, I can't imagine. Like, when I watch this team, I'm just so disgusted with the program. I couldn't imagine being on the team and then go like, "Oh, by the way," and watching Alessio get hammered. Like, you just know you're not going to get the ball. It's not going to be fun for Marsh.
He had a big drop on third down.
I get that. I get it, but just morale blows, and I just can understand being that young and talented that you're just like, I'm not trying to say that you shouldn't give your all 100% of the time when you're out on the field, but man, I get it sometimes.
But he went from being the most entertaining guy on this team to watch to somebody who's barely a factor. But
you have to put some players around him to make him exciting as well. You can't fucking throw the ball to yourself. You can't block guys and then throw the ball to yourself. I don't know.
By the way, the most entertaining person on the field is presented by our friends at Xfinity. Xfinity has Black Friday. Some great deals, by the way. You get an iPhone 17 Pro on them with a trade-in as part of their Black Friday deals. All sorts of other cool Black Friday stuff going on. Go to Xfinity.com. You can also type in your address, see the latest deals. Chances are when you combine home internet, cable, and mobile, you're going to have a better deal than whatever it is you're paying right now. Again, Xfinity.com. Lots of great deals just on like home internet, $40, lowest price for a full year. You want a 5-year deal, $55 a month. Again, Xfinity.com.
MCV next. This MSU football team is 7-4 right now if they had better coaching. And bonus, Mike Elko was a fan of this podcast when MSU was looking for a new coach. That's it. That's the take. That's right.
I forgot about the Mike Elko situation. He was following us. Yeah, he wanted this. But you know,
what's his buyout?
The thing about Mike Elko is Mike Elko wound up at a place that has an $8 million defensive line.
Yeah.
And so that worked out well for him.
So he's never coming here then?
I would say not. Although, hey, look, Mike Elko is kind of a...
Should we do a Texas A&M podcast?
Just change it up?
Yeah.
They're both, Michigan State.
I mean, can we still talk MSU hoops though, right?
Yeah. Here's the thing. Mike Elko is built sort of like me, right? A little bit pudgy, sweats in the face. Could use a muskox flannel, all that stuff. That guy is living in like the armpit of Texas. You know how much he must sweat? How much he must smell bad? Like I know at a certain point it's just not worth it all. I would rather be up north losing and or with
less. Is
less
this a
money.
live read or
I don't know if it was.
Take?
It was just me. It was just me thinking about trying to live in nowhere, Texas.
Mr. Benjen, mashed potato face should have been fired before the game ended for not going for it on 4th down. Guy is blander than plain-ass boiled potatoes with no salt or nothing. Damn, dude.
Yeah.
Let him have it, Benjen.
Yeah, people getting frustrated. He's got a stupid-looking face.
Hey, that's not nice. He's a great guy. Great family man. Kevin from Rochester Hills. Smith will be back next year and take MSU to the playoffs. All right, this is stupid. The Lions' D is not good. It was not good today. It was not fun to watch. It was so dumb. Some of those plays, I cannot believe. Man.
It's
fucking Derek Barnes.
Yeah.
What are we doing in Anzalone? Fuck me. Jack Campbell. I love Jack Campbell, though.
Okay. So a year ago, they're on their way to a 15-2 season.
Yeah, I was there.
The odds that you would say they would make the Super Bowl were what in your head?
I don't do that.
Okay.
I can't do that anymore.
Okay.
I take every team. I respect every team before. That's all I was doing when we were there. We went to the Washington, the playoff game. We were there 4 hours ahead of time.
You were
and we were just walking around. Like I was telling everyone how much I respect Washington. I'm not overlooking them and all that. Jaden Daniels, great rookie, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't. I just don't do that. I can't. No. I just want to win one, man. Nestle's Quick Hotel. Number one, I submitted a hot take that pointed out the obvious conflict of interest these large buyouts create. Graham responded with some nonsense about passion, as if Jay Smith and passion have ever been in the same room. Yesterday, I was vindicated. This man is coaching to get fired. And two, let me be clear. I'm not saying Jonathan Smith threw the game, but it's clear he lacks any motivation or drive to improve this team. I don't care what talking points he sheepishly mutters post-game. He's clamoring for that meeting with Batt so he can start cashing those checks.
I think he wants to keep his career going. And I think that's the best thing that can happen for MSU. I think an underrated part of the storyline when people talk about firing Jonathan Smith and is Jonathan Smith's career and where he may be trying to go and all that. I think that's something to keep an eye on and something MSU may be aware of because that matters for the finances of all this, right? If you cannot fire him or if you can fire him and he winds up with a soft landing, he winds up somewhere else, it mitigates the amount of money you have to pay him. All that stuff matters, and I think that's just something to consider.
Can I go to the presser tomorrow? Are you going?
You can go. I don't have to go. You're welcome to go.
Can I go? Can I ask the first question? Like, who is the new Hondo? Is that?
It's often Lindsey.
Huddleston?
Yeah.
He still goes to those?
He goes to them, yeah.
He gets the first question?
Well, not all the time, but sometimes he does.
I just be like...
Solari gets it a lot.
Jonathan, what are you passionate about? That's it.
He would say,
what is it you are passionate about?
He would say, this team, but he would do it in a voice that was sort of like Yoda. He has the sentence backwards a little bit, yeah. Jason, do you think that Bill Beekman...
If you want me to play it, just say so. Dan Grave, number one, Graham shouldn't cover football. It shows in his writing that he is more passionate about other sports, and he's more knowledgeable in basketball by a mile. Two, is that a compliment?
It's sort of a compliment, but it's also not, It's also a little true. It's not, entirely.
Basically, you're football writing shit because you don't care. Two, the more impressive Alessio plays, the higher chance he's gone if and when there is a coaching change. And three, MSU fan base is going to be pissed when they end up with Narduzzi or Fitzgerald. Neither would be a bad hire, but I also thought Smith was a good hire.
Yeah, I mean, Narduzzi has a pretty good buyout himself. I don't think Narduzzi is going to happen, but I don't think Narduzzi would be a bad hire. And if you wanted the perfect situation for a lot of MSU fans, which involves Max Bulla, and you had Narduzzi as your head coach and Max Bulla as your defensive coordinator, I think people would be okay with that. It would feel like an heir apparent of sorts, and a guy who's 60, who's younger than Cignetti, and would be motivated to prove that he could get that job back. I do not think Narduzzi would. I don't know what Narduzzi's ceiling would be at MSU entirely, but I do not think he would fail at MSU, and I don't think Fitzgerald would either. Fitzgerald would be. Fitzgerald might be my top pick.
What do you mean by fail? Like Narduzzi wouldn't fail. Like what Smith's like.
Smith is failing.
Yeah.
Right.
But I mean, it would have to get this bad. You don't think he would be this bad? But I mean,
no. But what I mean not fail, I mean he would get the program going, and to the point that they were in the playoff conversation at some point while he was the coach. Pretty, but I don't know that is there magic in a bottle out there like Cignetti? That's hard to find. Is magic in a bottle a phrase? I don't know.
Lightning in a bottle.
Lightning in a bottle. There you go.
You could do magic in a bottle. I mean, it's a new couchism here.
You know what I was thinking about too? Right after Thanksgiving, the next show we do will be December. You know what December means for Hoff?
Jonathan Smith's fired.
Feliz Navidad.
That is true.
Yeah.
Woo! Right. Spartan Johnny, the Bills head coach, has got to go. We have squandered yet another year of Josh Allen. No wide receiver one since Stephon Diggs. Keon Coleman blows, and our OC draws up only sideways throws. McDermott is a defensive coach, and the defense is atrocious. Move on.
Buffalo Bills podcast here.
What's going on with Keon Coleman, by the way?
I don't know.
He's
it's weird.
Benched. He doesn't want to.
A healthy scratch. Not great.
Doesn't show up for meetings.
Not great. Great.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, Big John Hogg. The MHSAA sucks. We're hemorrhaging kids to other states. Think of all the talent that's gone elsewhere over the years just for exposure. Also, we need a separate division for private schools. There are 8% of schools, yet make up 44% of football finals. It's unfair to Publix.
Yeah, I mean, this is a conversation that's had a lot of places. I don't know. I kind of like the idea that if you win your division, you've beaten the best and everything. But I understand that, the private schools have an advantage with the recruiting. In the school choice world, though, everybody can recruit, right? So I don't know. It's the stuff with basketball and losing top talent to other states. That's a real thing, and that's the MHSA has sort of has made the choice to make it hard on schools to do certain things like travel out of state and do all sorts of stuff that you can argue isn't always best for kids, but it is when you have a great player, and sometimes it helps you keep that guy, and that's just the way of the world. I do think they should probably relax their rules, and I think they should play more games. I mean, they play like 20 games high school basketball in Michigan, and in Illinois it's like 74. It's not really that, but it's a lot more.
Jesus, how many games these kids have to play?
It's a lot more, and they all like it. Nobody complains. I tried to do this story in Freeport years ago,
how long ago was that?
Well, it was like 2003 or something like that, but. Because they got their basketball season starts before football's over. Like half the team's still playing football, and you got your basketball teams. You got pre-Thanksgiving tournaments, post-Thanksgiving tournaments, pre-Christmas tournaments, post-Christmas tournaments. Everybody plays in all of them. And in Michigan, maybe you play in one showcase game around one of the holidays or something like that. And I wanted to talk to parents because, my Aunt Claudia, for example.
Aunt
Claudia. She used to get really frustrated because her kids were in like high-level high school hockey. And they couldn't travel in upstate New York around the holidays because they had to be in all these tournaments. And so I thought, parents must be frustrated. You can't go anywhere while you got a kid playing high school sports in Illinois because they're playing 65 million tournament games. Not one person complained. This is just what you do. I'm telling you, nobody's upset about it. In Michigan, they could do a little more of that. That is a story not worth telling, but told anyway, presented by our friends at Midtown Brewing Company, a great place for a beer or a date night, whatever it might be. And live music this coming Wednesday as well, 7 to 9 p.m. at Midtown Brewing Company.
Alex Mayer, Jeremy Fears is the best passer in the country. If he continues to hit open shots and make buckets in the paint, he is by far the best point guard in the country.
Well, he's got a chance to lead the nation in assists. And I say that only even though it's early because it's been very consistent. Like, it's one thing if you're 5 games in and you have like a 17 assist game or something, and you're usually around 6, and that's bumping up your numbers. he's had at least 9 in every game, and he's averaging, like close to 11 per game. That's telling that he's going to be up there all year. Whether that makes him the best passer in the country or point guard, I don't know. But it certainly, if he continues to have the assist-to-turnover ratio he does and take care of Michigan State the way he is, the step he's taken has been significant, no doubt.
Scott U, number 1, Fears, Kohler, and Cooper give this team a consistently high floor. Need to keep them healthy, as our strength is the point and front court this season. And 2, our ceiling will be how consistently Carr plays and the three-point shooting we get at the 2. And 3, it's basketball all the way.
Yeah, I think people are ready to move on.
He's a bull in a china closet.
The health is key for this Michigan State basketball team. It is for a lot of teams, but like last year's team really did have strength in numbers, right? You could argue their reserves were better than their starters. That is not the case now. And the Detroit game was a great example of this. At one point, the plus-minus, the core 4 guys were all like, plus 15 to plus 28. Kurt Tang and Trey Fort were like in that plus 10 range or a little below. And then everybody else was like minus 3 to plus 2. And you can see it in those days. And they were playing a lot of those lineups together, the core 4 together, the other guys together, and you can just see the difference. And so this is one of those years where they got a number of guys they cannot afford to have get hurt. Let's take a really quick break. We come back. More of your takes. Couch of the Rube, our Sunday night show, presented by our friends at Muskox Quality Flannels.
Firekeeper's Online Casino and Sportsbook is the site to play from your phone, tablet, or laptop. Get in on all the football action with pre- and in-game wagering. There's showdowns every week in football that you can't miss. Plus, the college and pro hoops are red hot, and the pucks are cool. Get your first casino deposit and sports wager matched up to $500 each. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 or older and located in Michigan. Gambling problem? Call the Michigan Problem Gambling Helpline at 1-800-270-7117. Where else can you cheer on your team? Enjoy a mouth-watering burger or savory sushi. Sip on handcrafted cocktails or one of 46 beers on tap. Take your game day or date night to Cask & Company Kitchen Bar or Front 43 Neighborhood Pub near Frandor. 2 amazing places with 1 awesome blended modern American Asian menu. Catch the game on one of 30 60-inch TVs or stop in for the all-you-can-eat lunch buffet. Enjoy happy hour or elevate your night out at Cask & Company or Front 43 on East Saginaw in Lansing. Ever wonder how comfortable you can be and how good you can look? Put on a Muskox flannel and find out. Muskox has new arrivals for this fall, including the Caper Green Grand Flannel, which even makes couch look good. Muskox is a Detroit-based flannel company that creates soft and durable flannels made to last a lifetime. They become a great partner with Couch in the Rube, not just because they make us look good and feel good, but because they're good people too, and a socially conscious company. For every $100 purchase, $10 is donated to the Alaska Wildlife Conservation. Muskox flannels are designed with 100% cotton that is ethically sourced and double brushed for softness. Feel the quality and comfort of a Muskox flannel by ordering at GoMuskox.com, where Couch and the Rube listeners can enjoy $15 off their flannel purchase with the promo code HOFF. Come enjoy irresistible, award-winning, handcrafted donuts and locally roasted coffee at Groovy Donuts. Surprise your family or coworkers with special holiday designs and flavors, or put the perfect finishing touch on an event with a custom order. Birthdays, weddings, gender reveals, our friends at Groovy Donuts are your answer. Experience the Groovy Donuts difference for yourself on Lake Lansing Road in East Lansing or in Williamston. Get more information or place an order at groovydonuts.com. If you're looking for a relaxed vibe, great food, and an outstanding beer selection, Midtown Brewing Company in downtown Lansing is your place. Enjoy their famed chicken and waffle fries, fish and chips, or any of their delicious burgers or salads. Midtown Brewing Company also offers 40-plus beers on tap, including ciders and seasonal offerings and daily happy hour specials. The spacious and cozy vibe makes Midtown Brewing Company a perfect place for a beer with a friend, a work lunch, or to watch the games on its big screen TVs. If you'd rather eat at home, Midtown Brewing Company offers a terrific carryout menu and free delivery on orders of $20 or more. Visit MidtownBrewingCompany.net or stop by 402 South Washington in downtown Lansing for the Midtown Brewing Company experience.
Find Couch and the Rube podcasts on Spreaker, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Google Podcasts, CastBox, and the Rube's favorite, Podcast Addict.
Couch in the Rube, our Sunday night show, presented by our friends at Muskox Quality Flannels. Go muskox.com, and you can use the promo code Peacock for $15 off your flannel purchase. You'll love their new offerings there. And keep in mind, with Christmas gifts and holiday gifts, go muskox.com for the people you care about in your life.
Peacock.
Some dude, number one, having a game at a pro stadium like Ford Field is the only way to keep this team fired up for the last game of the season, even though Smith has done a great job on this so far. And two, Couch, he's a good guy. Oh, shucks. But I can't say that he's a good coach ever, considering that in-game stuff, and I wish I could. And three, spent the weekend in Kansas City, the birthplace of Hallmark.
Oh, yeah.
Was constantly on the lookout for a pantless couch at the Hallmark Museum.
That's not really how that goes.
Is that where you beat off?
That's not how that goes. Oh. Yeah, no. It's I didn't know the Hallmark Museum
fucking
was.
everybody masturbates.
It's true.
Yeah. Well,
not at a museum though. It's
yeah, you don't want to do it at the Hallmark Museum. But
absolutely. Fucking everybody masturbates.
Yeah. It's Yeah. No. Look, what's Smith done well? He has gotten them playing well. I mean, he's gotten them playing hard, I should say.
On a scale of 1 to 1,000, 1,000 being like you're just over it.
Yeah.
Are you just over talking about Jonathan Smith?
I would say I'm in like 1,001. 1,001. I got to say,
it's amazing.
When I first realized, like, we were talking late last week, because the weeks go by quickly in November. There's a lot going on. I didn't even realize this was Thanksgiving week till about 4 days ago.
Dude, it's really come out of nowhere.
And then I was like, well, shit, that means I'm gone all week in Florida to cover this basketball. That's next week. Yeah. So for the show, it's going to impact us. And then I started to think about it later when we said we're just going to do a Sunday show. I was like, so there are no more Jonathan Smith takes until maybe after it happens, which I'll take. And if it doesn't, we'll deal with that when it happens.
Richard Kane, number one, that was some of the dumbest fucking coaching I've ever seen. Keep punting it to the star returner who already burned you badly twice, snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. Second game lost directly by special teams. And two, if Lance Stone is 5'8", Jeremy Fears is 7 feet and baked. I'm surprised Graham's favorite porn/Hallmark movie isn't Christmas in Chatsworth. Santa fills his stepdaughter with Christmas spirit. Sir, this is a family podcast.
Family show here.
Come on, this guy, come on.
That's not. Yeah.
Santa fills his stepdaughter with Christmas spirit.
That's not what we do here.
It's disgusting. Yeah. Come on, be better. As Couch says, do better. Chris.
I can't do a live read off that. I thought about it for a minute. I just can't do it.
We could. Chris, the losses blow, but look at the team and who's performing. Tuck left us with a rotten core. Smith's a talent developer, and he's found some stud recruits, Alessio, Frazier, Aiden West, that are in close games to decent teams. And a new OC. Give me Coach M time to develop the line, and this team will have juice. I just love being told, just give it time.
Yeah. I mean,
just be patient.
The problem is things do take time. The problem is there's been no evidence that if you give them time, it'll work. That's ultimately the problem. You have to, in this day and age, a show of good faith. Here's how we don't blow a game at Nebraska, a game at Minnesota, a game at Iowa. You know, if you're playing the Nebraskas, the Iowas, and the Minnesotas of the world, you know, that mid-level talent, and you got them where you got to. I don't know what else to say.
Thomas, maybe a crazy take, apparently. Joe Rossi, at the very least, needs an interview for the head coach job. He's clearly a great motivator, and the defense is the only unit we've seen improve this season.
For Joe Rossi, like, I think you interview everybody. We talk about Max Bulla. You should interview Joe Rossi. I doubt he'll get the job because he's part of this staff, and that's not usually how it works. But you want to interview people that interest you. And here's somebody, I'd want to interview Joe Rossi for a couple reasons. One, I'd want to just see what he had to say, see if he could sell me on the idea that he should be a candidate. I'd also want to know why a guy like that thinks this didn't work with Jonathan Smith, because he's not a Jonathan Smith guy. He's not part of that tree. He didn't come from Oregon State. I want to know why he thinks it didn't work and what the lesson. Like, if I'm an AD and I'm hiring a new coach, it's not only would I want to maybe consider Rossi as an outside candidate if he just blew you away, but also I want to know, what are the pitfalls for this job? What are the things to know? What are the things that are a real problem? What are the things that limit coaching staffs and make this job difficult? And I think Joe Rossi, more than anybody, could tell you that.
John Naughty, Joe Rossi is lobbying hard on the sidelines for Smith's job. And I wouldn't be surprised if J Batt is trying to find Smith a new job to avoid paying out his contract. I think in the corporate world, it's called out counseling. And I agree 100% with Jason. College football will never again feel like 2013. Back then, there was money involved, but it was all about pride in school. Now it's all about money pretending to be about pride in schools. Fans feel the difference.
Yeah, look, it's not the same. And the question is, can people love it anyway? And that's really what it'll come down to in the decades ahead. There's enough interest right now.
You know, if Michigan State hires the right guy and turns this thing around and becomes fun again, I'm just saying as far as looking at the college football slate on a Saturday, and I look at games and I go, I can miss those. I mean,
well, that's the problem. So the question is, 20 years from now, are a lot of people being like, that's not really part of my Saturday
I'll wait
anymore.
till the playoff or something. Right. I'll watch Michigan State and I'll watch some other games. I love the game of football. I love college football. It's just not as much where every Saturday you were sitting down watching games. Sparty Party 94. This MSU football team hasn't quit, which counts for something. But the talent gap is so huge, and with the dud recruiting class coming in, it's not getting fixed anytime soon. Another 3 to 4 years of pain ahead. Hopefully women's soccer keeps rolling for your sake, Graham.
Well, it doesn't. I mean, I think they're a good story. I think Jeff Hoffler's a great coach. To me, Michigan State has almost everything going for it except football. And if you're in my role, I mean, don't get me wrong, I get a little tired of writing about the same Jonathan Smith storylines, but and that's only because this season went south so quickly, and there are reasons for that dynamic. But really, if you're going to be a local columnist in a market where primarily what you cover is Michigan State, and you've got a basketball program that's supremely relevant, that's interesting to people right now, you've got a women's basketball program that looks like it's on the rise that people are curious about, you've got a volleyball team that's on the verge of maybe making the NCAA tournament, you got a women's soccer team that's really interesting. And I'm not saying all those things are the same in terms of level of care. I'm just saying there are a lot of things, like in Michigan State, the hockey, didn't even bring up hockey, which is the number one. Well, they lost to Wisconsin obviously twice, and they'll lose probably that number one ranking. But you got a Michigan State hockey program that's as good as it's been in maybe 40 years. There's just a lot of really good stuff going. The problem for MSU, and this is what Haller did know, and Haller knew, and every AD knows this: if you don't have football right, you don't have it. Because look where we are with the conversation today. Michigan State basketball is unbeaten. And they beat Arkansas and Kentucky, and I get that Kentucky wasn't great. Michigan State hockey, and I know they just lost to Wisconsin, though, is at the top of the world, and it feels like that's a team that could win the whole thing. There are non-revs that are really intriguing and interesting and entertaining for people, but largely people are concerned about football. And the timing of this show makes it a little different. Makes it like if normally the way the Lions game ended just like an hour before we did the show, we don't have as many Lions tanks because usually those get sprinkled in as well. So I'm not saying everybody's just focused on MSU football, but this speaks to where people's heads are and how much that actually matters.
Back to the white elephant in the room. They don't want to deal with the white elephant in the room.
Matty B next. Number 1, someone get Linger in a diaper. I'm so tired of this dude shitting down his leg at every critical moment. We run toss sweeps 12 yards deep in our own territory on 4th and 1, but now on 4th and 2 to win the game you fold? Holy shit, get these guys out of here. And 2, if Batt brings this clown back, no more hiding behind statements. Get your face out in front of a podium and explain why you're going to tie yourself to this broken down car for another year.
Yeah, he'll have to do it. If they bring Jonathan Smith back, and again, I don't think that's the direction they'll wind up.
Like, just when you say it, it makes me...
Sorry. If they were, like, he would really... I mean, Batt would have to be accountable
Can you just say it, like, out loud, like, there's no chance Jonathan Smith's coming back? Can you just say it?
I'm not going to say there's no chance because I don't want to say something I don't know. I don't think he'll be back.
I know you don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Spartan 18770, number 1. After the first 5 minutes of the Maryland game, Ford Field officials will be letting people in free from off the streets. And 2, if you think that Smith should be retained, ask yourself one question. What is the identity of this team?
It's a weird team, too. Like,
they take body blows, man.
Well, it's a weird team because you think about the beginning of the season where the defense was just, on skis getting, run over. And yet if you think about the USC game, the defense was like, they just couldn't do anything right. And that people were really frustrated. The offense showed a ton of potential. The special teams was great and looked like the real strength of the team. And now you fast forward to the end of the year, the offense is is just kind of, the offensive line at least, it doesn't give them a chance to have any sort of regular production. The receivers that were going to be the strength of the team really haven't been. And then, special teams has gone to hell. And then defensively, they've shown life. And it's just a weird team and a weird season in that sense.
The what is this word? Comferfer.
Close enough.
Comferrari of Southern Maine. I thought I was dead inside and that this team losing wouldn't bother me. I was wrong. I allowed myself to be angry, and I'm more disappointed in me than I am in whatever coaching decisions were made. That's mature right there.
It tells you when you care about a team. Yeah. Well, if you're dead inside, got some good news for you. This at Xfinity, this is the season to cut your bill in half with Xfinity Mobile. I would go to Xfinity.com during this Black Friday sale and look at the different offers for, it's obviously there's some great bundling offers, but if you look at the Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile versus Xfinity, and it's because Xfinity, the dirty little secret is they make most of their money elsewhere, right? They make it through cable, they make it through internet. So they're able to offer better deals with the same service and coverage areas of Verizon. Go to Xfinity.com, type in your address. You can check out the Black Friday deals right there.
Ryan Schultz next. Would have been happy for Hall and Alessio if they had won, but that was a predictable way to blow it, and probably a good thing. A win would have led to murmurs of, well, they haven't given up on him. Maybe he deserves another year. Get this clown out of EL ASAP. And bonus, the problem with Jonathan Smith's program identity is that it isn't Big Ten tough. It's Pacific Northwest tough.
Portland tough. Portland tough doesn't do it, right? Corvallis tough. There isn't really an identity to this team, and that's ultimately the issue. There hasn't been one for 2 years, and so I thought they were going to have one at the beginning of this year. It looked like they had one in the passing game, and it fell apart.
Kurt in Chicago, respectfully, do you guys really think the Michigan State head coaching job is better than Northwestern? Northwestern is bowling and was also bowling in 2023. They're opening a $1 billion donor-funded football stadium, and they practice in a new $300 million Lake Michigan waterfront complex. We can't finish the Izzo football complex. J Batt's new East Side Plaza is the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen, and we can't host games in late November in fear of our dumpy stadium's water and plumbing, creating a public health biohazard. And athletic department dysfunction has alienated our mega donors.
I still think it's a better job than Northwestern. I just do, because Northwestern is just a school without a fan base. They just are. They really are. Now, I'm not saying they don't have some mega donors, and in this age that can do a lot for you. For years we're Chicago's Big Ten school, and yet there are at least 8 fan bases, Big Ten fan bases in Chicago that are.
But who's Northwestern's mega donors?
They got
Julia Louis-Dreyfus. I mean, what are we? Who are
just because we don't know
the
names, though, doesn't mean most people don't know the names of Michigan State's donors.
Yes, we do.
No, they don't. Most people outside of Michigan State.
I know.
Pound the bushes.
Oh yeah,
Jim Hayos. Yeah. Who is the Jim Hayos of Northwestern?
They're probably
until you get one of those. Yeah. Michigan State above Northwestern.
There you go.
Made some great points though. Neurotic Pants. I know it won't happen, but in a just world, the university would reduce Smith's pay or ask him to return some of it. Overpaid loser coaches have zero accountability and make even more money when they are asked to go away.
The problem with being a good guy who's not a successful coach somewhere is that you don't have the ability to fire them for just cause. He is.
But I'm still a good guy.
Yeah, but ultimately that's the advantage of the Mel Tuckers is they're going to do something that makes you not have to pay them.
So 5 years from now, you're like, oh, God, Jonathan Smith, what a shit show. But, hey, good guy, right?
Yeah,
terrible what they did to that guy.
Well, no, nobody's going to feel bad for Jonathan Smith.
You will.
I won't.
You feel a little bit bad.
Well, I'll no, not really. I mean, the guy. Wow. This is what they choose, and this is the profession they choose. If you're a coach, even if you're a coach who's down the ladder on Michigan State staff, and you're gonna have to move your family again, and you don't get paid as much.
It's officially over. Couch is out on Jonathan Smith.
Well, you choose this life, and this is it is what it is.
Choose this life. Skylar Verdon next. Michigan State should hire a WWE wrestler as its front-facing AD who can give the fans what they want, like saying that they're going to put the Big Ten in a headlock and that he's going to pile drive CMU. Then we have a secret real AD behind the scenes who does the actual job.
This would be actually funny because you're right. In some ways, you need somebody who's actually doing the work, but what people really want is somebody to just tell everybody to fuck the hell off, and that's not always the best way to get things done. But it would be have a front-facing person, like a who'd be the best personality around Michigan State? Like Izzo unhinged, sort of that person.
He's too old. He can't keep.
No, it can't be Izzo himself. You don't want
Yeah.
Izzo. You need somebody like, I don't know who that would be in there actually.
Matt Larson.
Yes, the spokesperson. Here you go, Matt. Ruin your career.
Finally, the jerk guy. Number one, I hate to agree with you, but refs do need to be made available for post-game questions for the media. And two, milquetoast is a word that needs to be used more in current sports writing.
It's a good word. I've used it a lot. I used to misspell it. I used to spell it like milk and toast for a long time. Nobody told me. I was like into my 30s before I
rubed it.
Yeah, I rubed it for a long
Man.
time. Yeah, it was a bad deal. What are you going to do? I'm not that good at this. We appreciate all of you. Thank you for producing our show, sticking with us when our schedule changes. We do appreciate you. And hopefully the conversation will change by the time we're back with you. We hope you have a great Thanksgiving as well. We appreciate Xfinity. Go to Xfinity.com, type in your address, check out the deals. Black Friday deals coming here on Xfinity. Of course, we appreciate Midtown Brewing Company and, of course, our friends at Muskox Quality Flannels. Go Muskox.com. It's all right there. Peacock for $15 off. Have a good Thanksgiving, man. Good
You
show.
too, man.
Couch in the Roof.